The new Bianchi Oltre Xr4, the very own proclaimed hyperbike for 2023 made by Bianchi. We're going to talk in today's video the radical changes they made to this frame because one, I like them a lot. I think it's very cool and I like the direction they're taking the bicycle industry. And also the very news that just came out about the ban on this bike by UCI, saying that it cannot be used in UCI legal races and that they basically made this bike illegal to ride because it's so fast. But with that being said, let me get into the video because I actually do like this way this bike looks a lot. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So with Bianchi's new release of this bike, this is their proclaimed hyperbike. They state that it's going to be 30% faster over all the other aero bikes out there in the industry. I don't know how they do that. That's Bianchi's own numbers. They said they put it to a test in a wind tunnel, but they made this bike look radically different from what the old Oltre Xr4. And I'm a big fan of this. I do like the fact that we see the industry kind of pushing away from the cookie cutter bike frames that we've seen other manufacturers make. As you guys know, I work in a bike shop. I do bike reviews or bike talkabouts with all these other bikes, and they kind of just follow the same suit. Lower seat stays, straight bar, straight down tube, normal integrated handlebars, and then just wide tire clearance. But now we're starting to see more and more bike companies like Cervelo with the S5, like the new Scott foil, like this Bianchi right here. Pinarello has always been kind of a trendsetter themselves, but we're starting to see more and more people push the boundaries for these aero bikes. So I'm all on board for that because I want to see companies give the best that they can to these consumers, and maybe when a consumer buys this bike, they feel like they're getting a little bit of their own character and they're supporting like a little bit of themselves onto the bike. But look at these radical changes. No lie, the top tube itself looks crazy. It's a straight down. It has like this little divot right here, and then goes up. We do have kind of like a copycat with the Cervelo S5 handlebar, which I'll talk about in a second. We have the nice head tube, which looks very rigid and straight. We have the new air deflectors, which I'll talk about in a second, which I'll show you in a different slide. We have the wheel undertuck right here, and then it kind of looks like it gets fatter here, then skinnier down here. And then also we have another wheel tuck right here for this rear wheel, with this huge fin to the back, which I'm sure they're going to gain to aerodynamics. But no through axles on the side. You can see they have the cover caps similar to BMC, so very aero. You have these little fins and dimples on the drive side, and you have fins and dimples on the handlebar. But the bike looks sick. These are new wheels, I think, for them as well. It's a 3K carbon fiber wheel, but the bike does look like a very, very hyper bike-ish self. So, on this bike, what happened with the ban? So basically what happened is that Bianchi came out and they released this thing called air deflectors that go on the head tube. And what this whole idea behind this bike is that as the air is hitting the front of the bike, it's going to hit these air deflectors right here in the front, and it's going to push the air down the down tube away from where the legs are rotating and away from that dirty air pocket, and it's going to help go down and deflect down the bike to a more natural area. So it's less strain on the aerodynamics, and they say that you're going to be able to maintain your top end speed easier, so you're working less. But I guess when Bianchi went ahead and submitted this to the UCI, they forgot to go ahead and mention that these were on there. These are detachable and retachable, if I can get a good picture of them. See right here, enhance. Oh no, actually, you know what? I got something for you guys right here. Boom, bam. Watch this freaking junk right here. Okay, boom. See right here, these little points right here, these are actually little screw-in holes, so these are actually to come on and off. I guess when Bianchi actually submitted this to UCI, they didn't submit this with there. They mentioned it to them, but UCI just thought that it was more integrated on the bike. They didn't think it was an add-on fairing or a fuel sludge, so they said that this part of the bike is going to be illegal. It's banned from UCI. They said anything that's going to help a performance to the bike that's an add-on to it, that you can add on and take off, is illegal. If it's not part of the bike, it can't be added. Similar to like the Shiv tri-bike where it has a massive fuel sludge in the back, or other bikes. It can't help the bike being taken on and off. You can't add to the bike to make it different. But I like that. I don't know why Bianchi didn't just incorporate that into the bike itself. I think they should have just got rid of those screws, added there. I don't get what the point of adding the screws on and off were for, maybe for that reason. But two things it did. One, it created the ban that you can't use this bike in UCI. But two, it created a marketing buzz because now you have all these more chunkier consumers like myself that see this bike, this hyperbike has been banned because it's so fast. So you're going to create a little buzz around it. as soon as, and we all know, as soon as the UCI bans anything, we want it. Just like anything in this world. When you ban something, you're like, damn, it's illegal. I kind of want to try that. So I don't know. I wish that they would have went ahead and just made these more integrated to the bike, because I think they had something and they were onto something. Very similar to how motorcycles are made, very similar to how cars and trucks are made. They have these airflow pockets to the side to go ahead and redirect air down through the side of the body. I think it's nice. It is patent pending. That's a design made by them. I don't know why it took so long for the cycling industry to go about this, but I think it looks very cool. But again, look at these lines. Look at the curvature. It's not a normal looking bike. Now again, for the handlebar, it does look like the S5, but maybe just the S5, the Cervelo S5 is ahead of its time. Maybe they were onto something. And again, with this having kind of like an air pocket right here at the handlebar, this is again to allow airflow to come through the front of the channel and then redirect the air down to go away from that kind of air pocket where the legs are, which is great. That's why I think they should have done to this bike. They have it integrated into a handlebar. That's why this is not illegal, because it's part of the bike. And then this being a full carbon fiber one-piece stem and handlebar, it's going to make the bike much stiffer. They also have these little kind of fins, it looks like, on top, which I think is, I don't know if it does anything. Who knows? We have to have other people test it in the wind tunnels, because all we have right now is just Bianchi's word of what they have for the bike. But they do have different models and different price points for this bike. But I think Bianchi did a really good job of redesigning this. I've never been, I'll be honest with you guys, I've never been a real big fan of Bianchi bikes. I didn't like the color. I don't like the names. It was never been for me, but I am a fan for this. I think this looks really cool. It looks like a hybrid bike. It looks futuristic, and the buzz they got going around it, I'm excited for it. So we'll have to wait and see. Other people get their hands on it. Other people draw their own tests to it. Competitors draw their own tests to it and conclusions. But look at these numbers they're giving. 17.1 watts at 50 kilometers. So this is, you're saving 17.1 watts over their old Oltre Xr4. So the predecessor to this bike. Saving 5.1% CDA in crosswinds. Saving 45 seconds over a distance of 40 kilometers. Now, I know everyone says this whenever I use this analogy for 45 seconds or 40 seconds over 45 kilometers. Everyone thinks that's not that long of a time, but we're talking about elite racers, first and second place. Usually those first and second place are decided by a sprint finish, whatever it is. So if you can get 45 seconds on your competition, that's huge. Or just sit in a room by yourself and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or start the race and have them go off and then wait 45 seconds. If that's true numbers, then that's a big win. 6.85 kilos in a 55, which is stupid light. I mean, that's literally UCI legal, so that's pretty cool. But again, we have to see those numbers. And then this is the biggest one right here. I want you guys to see this thing. 30, get out of my face. 30% advantage over the best aero race bikes on the market in variable wind conditions. Dude, I don't think you guys understand that. 30%. That's almost 1/3. So you're saying, yeah, whatever you're putting out, like your wattage, like if you're doing 300 watts, you're gonna get like 100%, like 100 more watts. That's insane numbers. And they're saying that not to their own bike, they're saying over the other bikes. So yeah, that's a huge claim. I don't even know what to say to that. I wouldn't even believe it. If someone came to my store and said, yeah, what about the Bianchi? If someone came into my store and I was showing them the S-Works Tarmac SL7 and they said, what about the Bianchi? They say it's 30% faster. I would say it's a bold-faced lie, and that's bullshit. But we will have to see what this happens. I wonder if that's probably with the air deflectors, and if those air deflectors make that big of a difference, then everyone should do it. But I think Bianchi did a great job with this design. I like the air deflectors. They should have just literally made them a part of the frame, made the carbon around them. I think it'll be really cool. I don't know why they made them come off. The frame looks awesome. There's a cool buzz around it. I'm excited to see this thing in person. So if you guys are wondering, the bike can be ran UCI legal without the air deflectors. So if you want to race Tour de France, if you want to race in UCI events, you just have to take off your air deflectors. You're good to go. But now that you have this kind of buzz around it, that's a hyper bike that's been banned, you're going to get consumers talking, and you're doing a good job about that. So anyways, guys, if you have any questions on this matter, feel free to list them down below. I will answer them as soon as I can. Also, if you guys are asking me which bike's better, Specialized or Bianchi, obviously I'm a Specialized fanboy and I'm a sellout. Specialized. But anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.